Hello everybody, in this video you're not going to see any RAM or XM4 footage, or if you do it's going to be very limited. That's just purely because the hard drive which I keep this kind of stuff on is currently in a different property which I'll be moving into in next week. So you have to just make do with the footage that I've got today, but the numbers and everything are all still the same. So yeah, if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button below and consider subscribing if you're new here. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, it's Shadows Rain, and in this video we are going to be comparing the RAM against the XM4. There seems to be a lot of play in the meta regarding these two guns, and I'm seeing them a lot more. But the question is, they both compete in the same place, so which one is better? In this video, I hope to give you that very answer, as it's not as cut and dry as you may think. So, let's start off with the raw damage. The RAM will do 28 damage, and that will be everywhere. So the arms, the chest, the legs, doesn't matter where you hit them unless it's the head, it's going to do 28 damage. In comparison, the XM4 is going to be doing 32 hit points of damage, which is slightly more. However, it does have a slightly lower rate of fire, and that would be 721 rounds per minute, whereas the RAM comes in at 856. So that's just, you know, so that balances it out a little bit, so it's going to make those time to kills very similar. Next is the headshot damage. If you do hit someone in the head with the RAM-7, you're going to be hitting them for 42 damage, as opposed to 48 on the XM4. So the XM4 is a little bit more rewarding to hit them in the head, as you're getting 6 more damage now, as opposed to 4. Next on the range, we're going to hit up 42.5 meters on the RAM. 42.5 meters is actually quite far for an for an AR of this caliber. Having a moment of slurs there. So yeah, it's actually quite a long range for a high rate of fire AR. Now the XM4, now this was shocking to me actually. The XM4 has a max drop-off range of 28 meters, where it's not the maximum, but that's where it stands compared to the base range of the RAM. Now this is a bit of a problem, because that's like, you know, it's about 25% lower, which is gonna be noticeable when it comes to your time to kill in firefights. So anything further away than that, you're gonna suffer and be killed by the RAM more often than not. The next thing that we're going to be talking about is the bullet velocity. On the bullet velocity for the RAM, it's going to come in at 720 meters per second. Now, the XM4 is going to come in at a respectable 615 meters per second. Now, these can be extended with attachments, however, it's still far superior on the RAM. Next is the base aim down sight speed. It's going to be 217 milliseconds on the RAM, that's its base. And then the base for the XM4 is 238, so slightly faster firing on the RAM. Sorry, slightly faster aim down sights on the RAM. Next up is going to be the reload speed. The reload speed is going to be 2.4 seconds on the RAM, and it's going to be 2.36 seconds on the XM4. That doesn't sound like much, but that's 400 milliseconds, and that is close to like a full time to kill on somebody, depending on what gun you're using. So that is actually quite a big difference. We're also going to talk about the damage per second as well. So at 42 meters, this weapon will kill someone in 561 milliseconds. That is respectable. That's very respectable. It's not like FAL numbers, but it is actually quite respectable. Then the XM4 at 28 meters is going to be killing people at 583 milliseconds. So the RAM has got more damage and it's got more range. So in that regard, the RAM is what you want to use. However, there is more to it than that, and let's get into it, because the RAM, yes, has a superior time to kill and aim stability, but the XM4 can move super fast while aimed down sight firing. There are attachments and stocks and stuff that you can put on these, which will make you fire and move super quickly. Now, this does come at the expense of your aim stability, so you'll notice that when you use Cold War weapons, your aim does bounce around quite a lot when you're walking around or when you're strafing. Now, you don't have that problem on the RAM, but you are a lot slower and you are easier to hit when you are firing someone. Now, the XM4, sorry, is going to feel like a short-range AR, whereas the RAM is going to feel like a long-range SMG. So based on your preference as well, that might actually dictate what you would rather use, because in this kind of space, though the RAM is technically the best, it might be down to feeling and what you're comfortable with. So yeah, RAM is favoured heavily past 28 meters, which is the drop-off range for the XM4. And the XM4 is favoured inside that 28 meter range, where your movement can make the RAM miss. If you can make the RAM miss and you're inside that 28 meter window, you are going to be slapping the RAM for days. However, that's basically the whole thing. So guys, what do you all think? What are you using? Are you using the RAM, or are you using the XM4, or are you still using the AS-Val or M4A1? Guys, let me know in the comment section below. I want to have a little conversation about this, because I don't think this is the end of this meta quite yet. This is still developing, and I have some counter guides on the way. But speaking of which, we do have a counter guide for the Car 98K coming up, which has been requested by a subscriber, so that's going to be coming out next week at some point. We've got a gameplay video coming out on Monday, and of course, we've got the A1A Talk Away podcast on Saturday as well. So very fun times for everyone involved. But until then, guys, I've been Shadow's Reign, you've been awesome, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.